everyone, good evening. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup with our Djinni. We are on fire, and yet we're an ice elementalist, which is funny. And we took a random altar on the first floor, and we got Gozag again. Neo, hello, good evening. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Well, let me just try to acclimate myself to this character again. This is the new species that was added with 0.27, and if you look at my skills, you'll notice there are no spell schools because apparently don't need to bother with those. All that matters with the Djinni is, I think, experience level and spellcasting and intelligence. As far as failure rate and things are concerned with slinging spells. So we've been just flowing the spell casting up to get good with our spells. If I look at the spells that I do have, I can freeze, I can Searing Ray, which is kind of like our MVP here. I also have Sting, which is a lot of the times better than freeze. It has a better range, and we're working on maybe Hailstorm, it looks like. Frozen Ramparts is also pretty cool. You got a haircut today, Neo? Awesome. You looking good? I bet. $1 million haircut. I always feel great after I get a haircut. Hey, Snack, what's up? Good evening, my friend. Greed is good. And you know what? That is something that I learned with the last character, the human fire elementalist that we won with, my last 0.26 character, was that Gozag is extremely powerful. I don't actually think I potion petitioned more than once or twice the entire run, because I just was fortunate enough not to be in an emergency situation. I didn't make a shop either, but I bribed the branch many times, and it was amazing. Passive stun goes a long way to making Gozag overpowered. Yeah, and that's a great point, which it's something that doesn't really show up on the stat sheet necessarily, or maybe register in your mind. But the fact that enemies get attracted by the gold and get distracted is really, really sensational. It's kind of like how with Askaiwa, where you just mesmerize enemies and make them start like watching you dance. You don't think about how powerful that ability is, but it's arguably Askaiwa's best perk, I should say. Alright, so we are on Dungeon 3 with this character. We had some brushes with death. You know, there's ringmail right there. I wonder, I have a 0 aptitude with armor, which is actually not bad. I wonder what it would be like to wear some ringmail. Hey! Brew, what is up? Thank you for the raid. How's it going, Brew? Were you able to stream today, Brew? No more uploading? That'd be great, Snack, if they reworked some of the older gods like you're talking about so that they were more competitive with the gods that people spam. Hey! Cowboy, what is up? Pard, how's it going, man? Party alone? Good to see you. Ash just got reworked. Oh, wow. See, Okuwaru used to be, honestly, one of my favorite gods. You're at home, Cowboy? Here's my spells. Let me bring up my sheet. I've got these spells right here. So I used to use Okuwaru all the time, and loved it. and then they kind of took finesse away, and it was still good, but it kind of fell off, and being like more variance, where if Okuwaru gave you good stuff, then it was a really good choice. Heroism is still good, but against some of the others, it might not match up. But I love the fact that they are gonna maybe rework it. Exactly, Cowboy, and that's what I'm worried about, is this ring mail hurting my fail rate. Now, I'm primarily just casting Freeze, Sting, and Searing Ray, and so those should be fine, but I want to see, right? I want to just check out if I wear ring mail right now, and then I check my spell fail. Yeah, it gets pretty nasty. I mean, it's still gray, but I don't want to fail 10% of the time, so I'll go back to just wearing my robe. Not a big deal. Oh, interesting. Hey, IBK, good evening. Yes, this is .27, and so items come identified, except for potions and scrolls. There's no cursed items anymore, and so there's even more changes. I updated my RC file because it wasn't last time, to get my delay on Auto Explore kind of kicked in, and so that's pretty cool. But yeah, IBK, we are doing the Djinni, which is the new species for the update. All right, so let's see what we can do. I'll check it out. I'm going down, and more ring mail. All right, so there's a Knoll Shaman. Knoll Shaman looks new. Hey, follower. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, this is the crazy square game, and it's so good to have you here. I hope you have slept, follower. But either way, good to see you. Okay, so the Knoll Shaman is a new enemy sprite. There's a lot of new enemy sprites apparently from Snack, so that's cool. I like new graphics and just mixing things up. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can hit with Sting. Now, I'm not close enough yet. Oh God, look at this. So there's the Knolls themselves. They've changed the sprite on, and they look much more like traditional D&D Knolls, like the dogmen that you'd be familiar with. They look a little tougher to me. Oh, you got a girlfriend that stays up with you? A fellow, I don't want to say insomniac, but I'll just say a fellow sleep deprivation specialist? Well, congratulations, my friend. That's great news. I'm happy for you. This is a lot of enemies. This is a lot of juice, and I don't know if I have enough. This is where it's going to get really, really interesting with a character like this, because normally with a spellcaster early in the game, the primary thing that I'm scared about is running out of MP. Hey, Max Pank. What is up, Max? Good to see you, my friend. That's right. It's not insomnia. If it's intentional, that's correct. You're right. Do I have a quiet spell? That's a good question, Cowboy. But the thing that's worrying me is, okay, my health is my MP, so how do I balance that? You know, how do I... That's what I'm going for. I'm going to maybe try to pull them back into this hallway that's behind me, Snack, and use Searing Ray, which is... Searing Ray is, like, just so good. So good. I'm so happy I picked that up. So if you guys, in case you're not familiar, let me just explain what I understand about the Djinni. All right. And it's that you start, I picked Ice Elementalist, so I got ice-themed spells, but then they just randomly add, like, acquire spells, and I was lucky enough to randomly acquire access to Searing Ray as well as Sting. So you don't even have, like, a library to learn spells from with the Djinni. You see how it says you need no library to learn spells. And you just get them, and you know them. You have no spell school slots, and you don't even need to train skill up the schools themselves. So I got lucky there. And let's look at the spells in terms of quietness. I guess freeze and sting are almost silent, so that's pretty good. Yes, right, follower. I am the pink guy with the purple robe and the staff, and I'm going to try to bring in these gnolls, and they're awake. Okay, here they come. So I'm going to walk backward, and we're going to just start to see if we can have some fun. Alright, so the gnoll shaman is behind the regular gnoll. I'm just going to sting this gnoll, and I'm going to walk back, and now they're in a line. And from here, I'm going to Searing Ray the first two, and they'll start moving. Okay, so we already... Oh, you're right, Cowboy. I should have got closer to the stair. Crispy Bacon, what is up, my friend? 3 rounds of Slay the Spire and you deleted it? Yeah, you know, Crispy, I really like that game, but it has a steep learning curve, and I don't blame you. At this point, I'm like you. Sometimes if I just don't click with the game, I'm just like, there's so many games to play, move on. Alright, we just got level 6 by blowing away the first gnoll with the Searing Ray. Oh no, follower, we can do this. We can do this. Searing Ray, everybody. Now, I will tell you, I did get the coronavirus. And so that's a problem. No, it's not. We're easier to hit, but that's okay. I think that's the work of the shaman. Now, here's something interesting. The ray is on. It is. You're right. And so, like, I'm channeling the ray, and I can sit here and maintain it and still hit the shaman, which I will probably do. It says the gnoll shaman mumbles some strange powers to its god against you. What god do gnolls worship out of the gate? I didn't know that they had a particular, you know, ideology. It's an unnamed old god. Oh, okay, interesting. Alright, I didn't know if it was like they added a new god that I didn't know about. Alright, so we're level 6. We're going to take intelligence all day. And we are going to just continue casting the ray. What does it say here? To keep casting it, press period to maintain it. Okay, here we go. Oh man, Crispy, I'm so jealous. I really want to try Skyrim on VR someday. Let me know how it is. Alright, so I'm just going to push period again to maintain the ray. And you can see that we just ripped the gnoll shaman, who is actually yellow, apart. We'll do it again. Almost dead. Oh, he's healing himself. And he's dead. Okay, now we're done with the ray. I'm going to let them get a little bit closer so I can hit them easier. I'm going to sting. Really? I can't sting from here? Man, sting's range is shorter than I thought. Alright, I'm just going to wait. Sting. Oh, did you see that question mark appear above his head as he got distracted by the gold? Again, we're just talking about the dominance of Gozag. And this game is fun, follower. And let me explain to you, it can get grindy, especially if you try to go for 15 runes or extended. But the trick of this game, which prevents it from being grindy, is that it's permadeath and you can die out of nowhere. So the moment you start, you lull yourself into a stupor of thinking it's a grind and become autopilot is generally when you die. It's happened to me on stream where I just get lazy and sloppy thinking I've got it on cruise control, and this game will slap you in the face so hard if you do that. So it's kind of cool because it's so hard and it requires your full presence to not die, and so it mitigates the grind for me. Yes, exactly, like Snack's talking about. I just got killed. I got 2-shot by or maybe 1-shot by a titanic slime creature by being a moron and fighting a fight I didn't even need to fight, you know? Oh yeah, I don't doubt it in RuneScape. In RuneScape, I'm still not good enough at the game to even understand when the situation gets out of hand until it's too late and I'm dead. It is always just around the corner. Exactly, Max Planck. And that's a good way to put it. And because of that, the game never feels boring to me. And just the cherry on top is that this is an example. This is version 0.27. It's my first time playing this version. I'm playing a brand new species with new creature types, new sprites, new changes to the game. They constantly are changing it and keeping me on my toes. Oh my god. Death when you have 3 blink scrolls that's happened to me where I've had easy escape options and I just botch it. And you have no one to blame but yourself, and you just kind of shut down the game and put your head down and just retreat into a death spiral of self-deprecation for a while until you can lick your wounds and come back. Alright, so I'm going to cast Searing Ray again. And I'm just going to use the old F. And we can't reach the other one, but... Oh, no, that was Sting. Never mind. I don't have that quivered. This guy's just going to die from... It's F when I have Z. That's what it was. Now, that was... Okay. That was me murdering several gnolls without having to rest because I'm a Djinni. I think... I could be wrong. I can go back through the text log, but I think all of the damage that I took there, going from 40 to 25, was a product of spell casting. And so you can see both the power and the scariness of the Djinni, where it's like, oh, I can sit here and sling spells for a long time, but that's, directly proportional to my health pool, or inversely proportional, I should say, to my health pool. And so I got to manage that. I got to watch that. You're right, Cowboy, I do need to train fighting. I was thinking about how you recommended that last time. I'm going to turn it on. It's at 0. I was just trying to get my spells under wraps. XCOM Follower is a fantastic turn-based strategy game with a squad that you play defending the Earth against aliens. And I'm playing XCOM 2 tomorrow on stream, and you can come check it out to see what that's like. But both of them have been great so far. And the original games are also great. The Microprose games are terrific as well. All right. Oh, thank you, Cowboy. Yeah, you should have seen it last time. It turned into fashion. I made some armor that I cannot wait to use tomorrow night. It is turn-based, but it's not like Pokemon or Final Fantasy turn-based. It's like Fire Emblem or Shining games, Shining Force games. So it's like you have a grid, a square, like a chessboard kind of, and you move your people around on that. You have movement and you have attack, and so it's like, its position matters, and it's in an environment, and so it's not like Pokemon where you just see the Pokemon you want to catch in front of you kind of thing. Oh man, Snack, they remain undetected during their, ambush phase. I cannot, with pink plaid armor, it is so good. Orange and red plaid armor. Exactly, Cowboy. You do miss every time, and that's part of the charm. Hey, Austin! Good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. How you been doing? You are very early, Austin. Last stream... I cleared my last .26 character, Human Fire Elementalist, with a 3-rune win, and then I started .27 with this Djinni, the new species, and I'm only 6th level on Dungeon 4, so I am super, super early in the run. We got a Ring of Fire. Oh man, Austin, I know what you mean. I've been trying to get I had to grade and finish everything from summer semester and then get everything together for fall semester. It's nuts. I hear you. And of course, I'm here anytime. Whenever you can find time, it is amazing to see you. What's Pokemon? I missed it. Exactly, Brew. What follower said? You gotta catch them all. Alright, this endoplasm is scary. Oh, Austin. It is my pleasure. Now, here's the deal. This guy does cold damage, and because I'm a Djinni and I'm on fire, I'm bad against cold. So this guy can sneak a bunch of damage on me, so I'm just gonna Searing Ray him right away. Oh, and he's dead. Okay. Yeah, and I'm fine now that I have Searing Ray. Oh, it's only 1 dice 5? Okay, great. Now, you guys saw that I picked up a Ring of Fire, which is amusing, but not really something that a person or a Djinni who was on fire needs. Oh, he was basically saying how I was explaining that XCOM was turn-based, Brew, and he was saying like Pokemon, and I was kind of trying to point out the differences between the type of turn-based game XCOM is to Pokemon. All right, I'm going to read... Well, I'm not going to read any scrolls yet. Let's just go. Kobold. All right. Killed him with Sting. Look at that. There's a spell book, and we don't need it. We just poo-poo it. We're just like, whatever. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure that that Knoll Shaman had a robe of willpower. Do you guys remember that? I think there was a robe of willpower that somebody was wearing. Yeah. There it is. I'm gonna go get that. Let me get that. And then let me wear that. And then now we've got some will. Ooh, look at our robe. It's white. We have totally changed our appearance. Yeah, the Book of Power is good. Hey, Safid, what is up? How you doing? I think you're right. I feel like an Ifrit with the flaming, you know, because not all Djinnis are on fire. Just these Djinnis. But it's amusing me that I'm an ice elementalist and I'm on fire. So I'm an Ifrit that slings ice spells. Go figure. Oh, you're right. The Ifrits are evil, and the player class is like, I don't know if you want to say neutral, but not evil, right? So there's some funny things going on here as I play a spellcaster and am a Djinni. It does crack me up that there's no blue bar for my MP, which I'm like constantly looking at, because in many ways as a spellcaster, it's more important, or at least equal to your health, in terms of should I get into a fight or not, right? And when should I run and things like that, and it's just not present. Anyway, I also love that, like, adders, we're immune to poison. We're not just resistant to poison, we are immune. So it is nothing. Like, so many of these early enemies that are threatening because of poison, it's really, really nice. Yes, it's your magic points, follower. And so normally, how many magic points you have determines whether or not you're going to live, because you can cast spells to keep yourself in the fight. But here, I just use my health as my mana points or my magic points. And so I'm drawing from the same pool. I also got an Amulet of Guardian Spirit earlier with this character, which is hysterical. No, we don't need that. Alright, that guy disappeared. So that Orcish Wizard has disappeared. So what I'm going to do is go into this hidey hole, and then I'm going to cast Searing Ray, and just hope that the Orcish Wizard steps into the ray. I don't think it did. It is pretty risky. The whole thing is risky, Brew. Like, I think I expect to die suddenly and with, just completely unexpectedly with this character because of how swingy the status is of your health and your magic. Freeze is great versus wizards. Let me see. Well, first of all, I'm just going to put a Searing Ray, like, up here. Man, I am not hitting this guy. Oh, I see. So it bypasses evade? Oh. I was about to abort, but then Snack's advice. I cast Freeze because I knew where he was, or at least I could guess, and blasted him. I know, I was thinking about aborting. I really, really want to get to a point where I can find some potions. Yeah, fighting level 1 for sure, and that means more spell points, Austin. So we are cooking. Ooh, there's some Ruined Ringmail. That might precipitate a change. Interesting. So my Searing Ray was just missing, is what you're telling me. That's something I have to remember to be mindful of. I'll tell you what, though. It means that... Oh, here's a question, actually. Do potions of magic work for Djinni, or are they useless? I agree with you, Brew, that it seems like it would be useless, but I was wondering if the game would, like, count it and heal you. Okay, they're worthless. All right. Fair enough. And the Ring of Flight is also useless because I can fly, right? Oh, no. I don't really fly. I kind of hover. But it counts as flying. I mean, it says I'm flying. And I don't think I can deactivate it. I don't think I have any control over it or choice. Alright, I'm going to read some scrolls. So I'm going to read these. Blink. Vulnerability. Summoning. Identify. Perfect. We got mutation potions. We got heal wounds. Amazing. And we got brilliance. So now I can just not even worry about saving identification scrolls because all I care about identifying are potions and scrolls, right? And what's really, really cool about benefits of flying are that you can fly over lava and water, follower, so you can cross certain terrain that other characters cannot. There's some downsides as well. Certain things are more dangerous for flyers, but... Yeah, that's a good question. So... There's no downside to flying anymore? What about Tornado? Same deal as Airstrike? No extra bonus? Tornado is gone. That's sad, man. Oh, it's called Polar Vortex now? Yeah, it's a great question, Austin, about, I mean, like, it's ice magic. Interesting. Well, I'm Ice Mage. I can maybe get it. Alright, here we go. Look at this. This is actually pretty sleek. Awesome. So I'm going to... I'm going to use my Wand of Acid right here. And then I'm just going to wait, poison, and then we're going to Searing Ray right here. And we're going to Searing Ray. Oh my god, we just got Mephitic Cloud. Yes, we are getting some good spells here. I'll take it. You charge up electricity for a few turns and then instantly vaporize a target with the Maxwell's capacitive coupling, which is the absolute zero replacement. Interesting. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. And boom, there's fighting up again. So we are working our way towards mastery. Look at this. I can now cast Mephitic Cloud at 3% fail. I know, it feels like it. Like, I've got Sting, Searing Ray, Mephitic Cloud. These are really, really good spells. And also, look at this. Mephitic Cloud is one of these spells that's super good, but it's 3 schools, and so it's tricky sometimes to get reined in, but the 3 school spells don't matter for the Djinni. Look at this. It's 3, I mean, it's unreal. Blink is at least good, but wow. Yeah, I'm getting lucky. I'm getting like the Conjuration Specialist here. +2 Flail of Protection is really tempting. I mean, well, never mind. No, it's not tempting. I keep forgetting that Protection doesn't really activate until you swing. It used to be just a flat bonus. That is pretty funny. So that's a great question, follower. Normally what happens in this game is that you start with some spells, and then you learn spells a few at a time by picking up spell books. But for the case of the Djinni, just every time they level up, or maybe every other level or something, they get access to a new spell. But it's random. You don't get to pick. Whereas with a normal wizard, you could like go to a spellbook shop and select which book you wanted to buy, if there was a shop like that, you know, that you could find. Whereas the Djinni, you're just completely random. Spellcasting level 6. Alright, Necrophage coming at us. I'm just gonna Searing Ray. Seems like it'll work. Got him. Did you see that Necrophage AI? Oh yeah, follower. It's amazing. There's like straight up fighters that wear heavy armor, and you know, you can have a two-handed sword or like a shield and a sword. There's range classes that use crossbows or bows or slings, and there's wizards, and then there's hybrids of all of them. This game is so crazy with the variety that it offers. It's why I keep playing it. The amount of sheer variety is just breathtaking. All right. We're going to sting this guy and then freeze. And thank you, Snack, for reminding me about freeze. I mean, it's scary to use at the beginning of the game because they have to be adjacent. But, like, if you soften them up and then you have this spell that you know is going to hit, it works out pretty well. Yeah, Frozen Ramparts I love, but here's the question. I haven't cast it in a while, and because my character is vulnerable to cold, I had a question about Ramparts. Let's say I want to cast it, right? You see how this is showing me the castable range. It doesn't... Does it only freeze the squares adjacent to the square that you choose? It only targets enemies, so it won't freeze the ground underneath me? Oh, and so even if I stand in it, I don't actually take damage from it? Oh, great. I thought it was just like putting ice everywhere. I didn't know it was like magically making ice that selectively attack targets. That's really cool. Alright, here comes a hound, so let me freeze it, and then we'll just Searing Ray. Oh, it breaks instantly if you move or you're forced into it? Okay, I see. Well, I'll experiment with it. I was just scared because I didn't want to, like, blow myself up. So let's use it here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Max. So I cast it, right? And as long as I don't move, it won't fall apart. Is that correct? Like, as long as I'm stationary in here and I just wait, he's going to take damage. And I can just cast stuff out there and I can, like, sting. But then if I move, yep, I see it breaks. The frozen ramparts melt as you move. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're right, Max. I just need to test it. I gotta say, I'm probably gonna die stupidly with this because this is my first time playing this species, but I like the spell set. I'm gonna do ramparts again. So you can rampart and searing ray at the same time. That is awesome, right? And so I will. I'm gonna do that right now. Right there. And I'm gonna maintain the ray. And anybody else around here? Come on into my ramparts. You're gonna love it. Alright. And we're done. Oh, no we're not. Kobold Brigand. Is that new? Did this replace the big kobold? Is there no longer, like, big jumbo kobold? Alright. That is a great question, follower. So one of the really cool quality of life things in this game that I use that many, I think, really good players at the game don't actually use auto-explore that much, but I love it. What happens is, if there's no enemies, I can push a button, and it will automatically move my character around exploring, and then it will stop as soon as it sees an enemy or something that triggers it to stop, but it moves really fast while it's doing it to save you time. God, they have poison or cure darts? Well, unfortunately for this guy, poison, not a problem for me. Alright, Noel coming at me. There's a lot of enemies here. I'm really surprised. Here they come. We got level 8. That's how I feel. Free cure darts are a great pickup. They certainly are, Snack. And these are the things that, like, some of the key takeaways that I have learned from you guys by playing on stream have been these items that I would seemingly overlook before in my dungeon crawl life. And there are these items like cure darts or, you know, wands of fire, things like that, that are just hard counters in very, very specific situations that, if you have them, are ridiculous. That's right, they have unlimited ammo. I forgot about that. You were telling me about that. But not throwing nets. Yeah, throwing nets would be brutal. All right, I'm going to cast Searing Ray again like this, and oh, here they come. Boom! Look at my ray. God. Searing Ray is like Noel Kryptonite if you have a corridor. So good. Yeah, that is really scary. Cyclopses and stone giants just got much scarier. Like the Minotaur. Although the Minotaur in the Gauntlet, they don't usually go through all of their javelins, but there are some named enemies that have javelins that are going to be really scary. So that's a good question, follower. So noise is your ability to move around silently and do things silently, because some characters play a stealthy style where they sneak around and then they backstab enemies that are unaware, and so you want to be really quiet, and certain things that you do make more noise than others. Some spells that I cast, for example, are really, really loud, and then enemies that are just wandering around the dungeon unaware of me will hear the noise and will come investigate, and fights can get out of control if you make too much noise and you're not prepared. Yeah, that's right. Like, for example, just like Austin's talking about, this Sky Beast right here, you can't really see it, but in the upper corner there's a ZZ, meaning this enemy is asleep. So if I made a lot of noise, I would wake it up. But because I haven't been too noisy around it, and I'm a stealthy character, it's asleep, and I get like a free attack on it, basically. So I'm gonna look at you. It has big evasion. I'm casting freeze on it within the frozen ramparts, and it's doing pretty good. Hey, nice guy. What is up? Good to see you, my friend. This is a different game than Subnautica, but it's a very good game if you like this style. Yeah, Austin brings up a good point. You can use noise to your advantage to lure enemies to you. The sounds of breaking bones is quite distinct. Yeah, it is, and it lures enemies from near and far. Let me see how I'm doing. I can actually cast Hailstorm pretty effectively. I don't know if I remember what that one does. Is that the one that, like, makes a ring around my character and damages everything around me? Or, let me look at it again. I can't remember what that spell does. Conjures a cannonade of hail. I've always wanted to make a cannonade. It bombs all tiles 2 to 4 away with hail. I see. Yeah, you're right, Austin. The eye of the storm is wide enough that monsters adjacent to the caster are unaffected. Oh. So you can't really use it if enemies are right around you. That's where Irradiate comes in handy. But this is like for enemies that are a little bit further away. Well, because it's turn-based, follower, so you can only cast one spell per action, basically. And some spells are harder to cast than others, or use more magic points than others, so you kind of want to be efficient and not overkill. This is a good Mephitic Cloud time. Not quite. Did you see that? So I'm casting my spells right now, and I just use Sting and Freeze, and this is a good testament to what you're talking about, follower, with noise. Those spells are rated as almost silent. If you look at my spell list, and I'll show you right here, it tells you how loud each spell is under the noise category. So Freeze, almost silent, Sting, almost silent. And I used them, and these two orcs stayed asleep.